How's it going, guys? My name is Kevin. I'm with Pacifica Tiny Homes. I'm a sales executive here, part of the family business. I'm going to be showing you guys a beautiful tour of how we build our tiny homes. So if you see all the tiny homes that we have here, they all have been customized, our preference for the clients that purchase our tiny homes from us. And that's the thing that we do here is we try to keep it very nice, simple, but also you have that leverage to customize it. So if you guys want to join me and come check it out, feel free to follow me. And the niche part about us is the fact that we, unlike others, we build our own trailers. So we manufacture our trailers here in our facility, and I'm going to be showing you guys in detail how we do that here. This is our factory, guys. As you can see, we have a quality control station, and each station that we have here gets assigned to build the client's tiny homes. Right next to these stations, we have these containers, and in shipping and receiving, they put the customer's customization list that they actually ordered from Home Depot and IKEA or wherever you get the customization sheets from, as far as what the product that you get, and we place them here and we start building your tiny home. So that's something that we do here in Pacifica Tiny Home. Each station gets assigned and starts building the client's tiny homes. Everything's all in order. So we get this binder, we have all the sheets of all the colors that the client chooses from their home, from the trailer to the interior to the exterior, and from the exterior of the home, siding, roof, windows, you name it. And that's the beauty here at Pacifica Tiny Homes, that we can customize every home at your own personal liking. So as you see right here, we actually have where we build our trailers. This is where we manufacture all our trailers. We build them specifically under our specs to give you that good quality, long-lasting trailer, very thick compared to other tiny home builders where they have to get a third-party company to build the trailers. We do it here in Pacifica. We build it our own because we know what it takes to actually be able to withstand the weight ratio of a tiny home. So we build them with thick shackles, we weld it, stick weld, and we also do flux core. We try to we maximize our capacity of building you an indestructible tiny home. And the reason why I say indestructible is due to the fact that we survived hurricanes, tornadoes. We deliver these homes nationwide, and these homes have withstood, from the client's perspective, what they've seen, what they've experienced, that it stayed intact. And that's the beauty of building you a strong, affordable, longevity tiny home. It's built like an actual home. You can see right there, as a stick built. Put some plywood at the exterior, and we try to make it robust, nice, traditional built here in California. And that's something that we have. We also have limited lifetime warranty for your tiny home. So if anything does happen within the first year, we can always go over there and fix it for you. Right after, you can come over here to our factory, and to one of these stations will be assigned to fix it for free. I mean, what company does that? We do that here in Pacifica Tiny Homes. And every station has their own time frame on when time they have to build their tiny homes. So whenever they get assigned, the leader is going to be within a 4 to 5 week build time. So that's when we start to build with a trailer, and then we get a station, you put it to the station, and then it takes about 5 weeks to start to finish your tiny home, and then we'll schedule delivery. But before we schedule delivery, like I did mention, we have a quality control check. We make sure everything is operating, water, electrical, sewer, and we do a lot of testing because we want to make sure we deliver your house nice, fully tacked, and ready to just key turn ready. And that's the beauty of it here at Pacifica Tiny Homes, guys. As you can see this right here, man, look at this beautiful big trailer. This is a real strong, robust trailer. Do you think this is gonna break? This is a strong trailer, look at that. 5/16 channels. This is a really strong trailer here. This is gonna be a big tiny home. I believe this one's gonna be like looks like a 40 footer. Let me double check. Yeah, this is gonna be a 36 by 11. This is going to be the biggest tiny home, fully customized. We never built anything like this before in our lives, but this is the first time we're going to be building a 36 by 11. We can do it, of course. As you can see, we built the trailer. The trailer is already looking fantastic. Just imagine the house it's going to have. It's going to have 2 bedrooms. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful view of this home. So if you guys want to check us out too on our YouTube and Pacifica Tiny Homes, I'll give you guys a full tour once this home is completed, because this company, they're housing the individuals that need housing. So that's why they came to us and said, hey, can we customize these homes? We need 15 of them. Yes, we can. And that's the leverage that we have. We can do it for you guys, for nonprofit organizations, for people that want to, you know, amp their, or rejuvenate, in other words, their RV parks. You know, you have a lot of RV parks and you have these spots and, you know, people come and go. Get some tiny homes, place them there. They don't have to go. They can stay there. Nice, good little community. You know, a lot of RV parks are transitioning to communities, to tiny home communities. Before, like about 2 years ago, there's only 7 communities. Now there's 15 of them all over the state of California. And it's just becoming more of a trend where people are actually starting to buy tiny homes and place them in their lots. So they have empty lots in your RV park. You can put a tiny home there, build like an actual house, and you have a community there, and you're gonna have a nice little peaceful area, and it's gonna be a nice tiny home tranquility, you know? So that's something, a beauty about it. But if you guys wanna check out actually a 10 by 30, this one right here is gonna be going to Livermore, somewhere close to Petaluma. Both of these are actually 10 by 30s. I think that one might be a shorter one. But this is the one that actually is a specific client that I spoke to. It's going to be a very difficult delivery, but we're delivering it about 5 miles up the middle of nowhere in the mountain of Livermore. It's curvy, but we're taking a great team. And that's one thing I really want to actually emphasize. We have a great delivery team. Our delivery team takes control. We get things done, and we make sure once we place it there, we make sure everything's good. So it's under our care, and it's pretty much insured with us. We do charge $3,900 for a full delivery service, leveling, taking full charge, and we're there all day. It's like an 8-hour day to 10-hour day, and if we have to stay another night, then we will stay another night just to complete the task. But look at this home right here. This one actually has a lot of customizations. The client chose to have French doors. They chose to have, it's still under construction, but they chose to have shiplap walls, marble countertop, self-closing counter space, and it's gonna be a beautiful home. They added a secondary loft too as well with an enclosed privacy wall, and they added extra windows. The reason why they added extra windows is due to the fact that this is gonna be near a mountain view cliff side, but it's not exactly on the cliff. It's about like the size and dimensions of that area is probably about like 100 by 40. 100 by 40 feet, and it's going to be a beautiful mountain view, about 5,000 feet elevation. So it's a nice area. It's going to look beautiful in the morning. So they added these windows where you can have that beautiful sunset view, and early mornings too as well. So that's why they added their windows on this section and not behind this wall. If you can see, usually clients have windows right here, but they didn't want to add no windows here. So they added a privacy wall for families and friends and kids, for their, for their grandchildren. And they added a very nice mini split. This one's the Arctic Series mini split. So what this means is that it gets a more powerful breeze, a more powerful heat, especially for the area they're going to be located. It does snow a little bit, so this has snow load support, has a lot of good things to protect it from the weather. So that's the one thing that we want to emphasize as well, is that we can do weatherproofing, equipped weatherproofed tiny home. So wherever you're located, some people say, hey, it's not going to last. I'm not going to last it 0 degrees weather. Well, like I said, we have indestructible tiny homes that withstood a lot of the weather conditions. Snow load support. We can do a snow load support on top of your roof, depending on the snow pitch ratio. We'll do that with you guys. Everything's going to be all in order. So first you place your order, we send you the custom sheets, and those custom sheets are going to give you a series of questions depending on your area. You can go ahead and submit your questions, and we can still have someone assigned to be able to assist you to give you the perfect tiny home for your area. So that's something that we really do want to take charge of, especially when it comes to building a tiny home. We've been doing this for almost a decade, and we've been very successful as giving the clients what they want. So that's something that we really focus on. So as you can see, this is a nice countertop. You get to choose. Actually, it comes already included with a butcher block. You can upgrade to a marble or a what is the other one called? Marble or granite. So depending on what you want, every client can choose what their preference is. I know this one's a nice and clean, but it's very nice and spacious and open. They use recessed siding all around. They have the little section right here is they're gonna put their own customized table. But once this house is fully completed, it's gonna look magnificent. And once it goes to the client's home and they adjust their own personal belongings into the tiny home, it's going to be a beautiful view. And to be able to, be here with them will be a pretty nice experience. But I do want to show you guys more houses too as well. I have another 30 by 24, I believe. So we can do 10 feet wide for any home. We can do 10 feet wide for an 18 footer, for a 24 footer, for a 30 footer. We can move windows around. We can switch them around too. We can retrofit appliances. We can do a lot of things. This one right here has the mini split, the mini split condensers and exterior right here. We put it right here, but if you're like somewhere where it snows or whatever, we can always do some housing for it. That's something that is it's an easy thing to do. So a lot of people be like, oh, well, I live in the snow. Can you? Yeah, we can build you a housing. That's perfectly fine. And as you notice, the entrance was on this side. On the other home, we actually flipped this entrance. The entrance is going to be on this side. Can you flip your entrances? Of course you can. So this one's more of a cabin style home. It's a 24 by 10. It has blue pine stain on exterior. As you can feel the mini split. Look at that, man. It feels amazing in here. And there's no door yet. Everything's open. You still feel the difference of temperature as soon as you enter here. Blue pine stain exterior, butcher block countertop. This one has a bigger bath. It's a 4 foot by 10. You can see the stand. It's a stand-in shower. It's more wider. This one has a walk-in loft as well. You can stand-in walk-in loft. Excuse me. But it is smaller, but it's still spacious. You know, it's a 24 by 10, a little bit over 298 square feet, almost at 300, and including the lofts, obviously, because it has 2 lofts, primary and secondary. You can actually, with the 10-foot wides, I do want to emphasize another thing. You can actually fit a king-size mattress with a Cali king-size mattress with a 10-foot wide, because the length of the lofts, obviously, they're standard around 7'6". But if you go with a longer model, you can always elongate your lofts. Same thing with this, is 6.5 in the length by 10. This is a 7.6, 10.5 by length. So yeah, it's a beautiful home. Blue pine exterior all around. Gives you that nice earthy smell. Very cabin cozy. You know, get your coffee in the morning. It's actually really nice in here. Obviously, the homes are not fully completed because they're still under construction, but as you can see, once they're completed, they will be beautiful. And hopefully we will show you a home that is completed here. Just wanted to show you guys the self-closing cabinet spaces. So they close by themselves. I mean, obviously they're still under construction, but you know, just to prevent anything, you know, from closing loud. Add windows as much as you can. It's totally up to the client as well. So that's the thing that we said, like every home is different. Obviously you have your standard layout with the stairs and then the kitchen this way, but if you want to flip things around and you don't like this layout, you have that leverage to flip things around, you know? So that's something that's beautiful here in Pacifica Tiny Home. And we always utilize our spaces with cubbies. We feng shui our closet space, because I know a lot of people say, hey, well, I have a lot of things. Well, we add these staircases. Obviously you can add more. This one's actually shortened due to the fact that they added a retro. They're going to retrofit something here. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to retrofit here, but when we do a 3D model rendering before we start the production, which is part of the deal for free, we do a 3D model rendering before we even start. So once you submit your customizations, once you did everything that we sent you and you send it back to us, then we'll do a Zoom meeting with you guys and show you guys, hey guys, look, this is how your house is going to look. You want to do any changes, this is the time to do the changes. Jasmine does those, and so does Joshi. We have a full team that operates on these jobs that we have. So everybody's doing their certain jobs, and they're the ones that do a great job to do the finalization, from outlets to mini split to where everything's going to be located, and the customer chooses all these locations. So that's why I tell a lot of people, like, oh, I don't like this here. Well, of course, if you don't like it, then it's fine. You can always choose to have it your way. You can put it there, you can put it up there. I've had clients put an outlet up there. I'm not sure why, but that's what they wanted, so that's what we did. Fan and a chandelier, you can choose from your own option too as well. But yeah, everything's all here. So here in Corcoran, California, Kings County, they're very lenient with tiny homes, since the fact that these homes are RV certified through Pacific West. They're treated like RVs, but they're built like actual homes. So if you go around the neighborhood, you're going to see RVs parked in their property, either front or backyard or side yard. As long as you have a primary residence, you can place a tiny home in your side yard, in your backyard, and use it as an ADU. or you can just store it there, or you can, depending what you're trying to use it for. Every client is different. They want to use it for permanent living, then you would obviously have to talk to the city or county like, hey, I'm gonna put a tiny home on wheels in my property as an RV, and I want to convert it as an ADU. So then you have to submit the plans, and this is more of an easier process here in this area because it's more the land. There's more land here, and it's more open, so there's more feasible. There's more opportunity to be able to place. There's RVs all over around the area, and people are living on there. So I'm pretty sure you can do the same thing with a tiny home, legitimate. So in Tulare County, that's when things change, which is about 30 minutes away from here. We also have a tiny home there in the property, and we rent it out to individuals. As long as it has a little fence around it, you're good. You know, on wheels, have RV hookups ready, because these are actually hook up like RVs, and you can utilize it there, just like a 1 year to 2 year lease, depending. We usually try to focus on like travel nurses, due to the fact that they travel and they leave. But yeah, these homes are actually pretty feasible to own in your property, and you can utilize it as a secondary income, or you can utilize it for like someone that wants to stay for some short time. So just depending on each person. And to Visalia, they allow up to 6 tiny homes as long as there's a primary residence. So that's really important. In order for you to have a tiny home on wheels, you have to have a primary residence. It's really hard to actually zone an area because you have to do utilities, water, and sewage. But the square footage is not, it needs to be over like 500 square feet to actually be primary residence, I believe. But these homes are not up to 500 square feet, they're smaller, so they'll be considered ADUs. So some of the places that I actually know of that allow tiny home on wheels as primary residence is Placer County and Nevada County. And I know El Dorado County is transitioning because it's neighboring to those counties. West Sacramento County and Sonoma County is very feasible as well. They love it there. Contra Costa is also allowing them. Where else? San Diego County allows them as ADUs. There's actually a tiny home community, a tiny house community over there called Tiny Home Block. So a lot of these counties are starting to transitioning, especially the ones that are neighboring to each other, starting to adopt the neighboring legislations. And depending where you're at, the majority of the places where they allow tiny home on wheels as a primary residence is usually towards the mountains area, where the Sierras are at, like either Yosemite, Sequoias, Badger Hill, the Sierra Nevadas. All the mountains that are here on the west side of California or east side of California is where they all allow tiny home as primary residence, as long as it's equipped and as long as it follows the regulations. I know Olympic Valley is allowing them as primary residence. You can have up to 3 in your property, as long as you have a property that's already zoned with electrical, with its own solar panel, electrical panels. Unless you want to go off the grid, that's totally up to you. So there is things that you must oblige to when it comes to putting a tiny home as a primary residence. It's not just placing it there. You have to have everything already zoned out, and then you have to go through the sheriff and the fire. I think it's the firefighter marshal, I believe. I'm not sure it's the marshal. It's the captain, the firefighter captain. You talk to the NFPA, and they just help you out to give you that feasible, easy way to be able to place your tiny home there. Due to the fact that there's fires, so these homes have to be equipped for fire resistance, hardy board exterior. That's why we already utilize that. Exterior, we can also use metal, and we can use the roof for metal as well too. So just depending where you're located, we want to make sure we give you fireproof materials for your tiny home. So we do have standard models. The one that we first came up with was the Bay Cottage skilling and roof style. You can slant it on each side. It's a shed. And we have a tiny Victorian, which is a gable A-frame roof. You can do a full A-frame, or you can do a clerestory where you can have a higher pitch and lower pitch. So depending on the client. Those are the 2 models that we first came up with, and now we have a new one. It's called the Model X, which is not as tall. It has pretty much a shed style roof. It's more of a smaller, more affordable range tiny home, which is not as tall as compared to these. So it still is spacious. You can still go long, you can still go wide, but it's just more in the affordable range, and it's easy access to own and fast to take it anywhere you want. Those are the 3 models that we have, but if clients want to do any type of customizations, we can do double clerestory roof, we can do 2 shed style, we can change everything up. Obviously it's going to cost you a little bit more to do that, but we can fully customize your tiny home. Every tiny home that we have has a standard layout with the staircases on one side and then the counter on that side. But if you want to do L-shaped countertops, or we want to change the staircases in different directions, we can always do that for you. Like I did mention, we do a 3D model rendering, so we can do the full look of the home that you want As long as you provide us the plans of what a sketch, we can get it done for you. But the first thing we before we even do any of that work, we want to make sure that clients are in contract with us. We're going to tell you that we can do it because it's something that we could. Did you see the 36 by 11 that we had over there? That's a pretty big size house. It's a park model. We can definitely do customization on these homes because we have the equipment, we have the strength to be able to do all that. And that's what gives us the leverage compared to other companies. We have our standard layout models. If you want to go with the standard and you love it, that's fine. But if you want something more niche, something more of your personal character, we can definitely do that as well. So whenever a client is interested in our tiny home, obviously they get our information from either social media and they go into our website. We have all the links to our website in our social media platforms. So whenever a client submits an online inquiry, we then get a message receiving that they're interested in so-and-so. So our clients say, hey, I'm interested in a tiny Victorian. I've seen it. It's beautiful. I've seen videos. I want something. And they go based off what the client's already customized. So they see a lot of customized tiny homes, and they like that one. And we'll be like, yeah, we can give you an estimate on the tiny home. So we'll get you started with the first estimate. Obviously, in our website, it shows you the breakdown of what's all included. Even our brochures, it shows you everything. The breakdown of what's all included and the prices of the home, of what they start off. So once we get on the phone meeting, we talk to the client and be like, hey, if you're interested in a free estimate, we'll give you a free estimate. You can compare prices to other companies, and it's going to break down everything that's in there in the free estimate. So obviously they'll receive, once we get their online inquiry, we'll get their email, and then we send them a free estimate. Tells you all you need is $2,900 to be booked into our calendar. Normally we book about 5 to 6 a month. Right now we're booking for the month of March. We have 3 spots available, and we'll let the customer know. It takes about 4 to 5 weeks to start to finish. Once you're booked, that spot is reserved for you. Ain't nobody gonna take your spot anymore. And it's a non-refundable deposit, so we want to make sure the client has, before they do a deposit, they must sign a contract and DocuSign with all instructions of what's all in there. And also too, you can read it, and you can have 2 people sign. And you want to make sure you know what you're committing to. So that's why before we even start the process of customization, we want to make sure the client is committed to this transition. So we pretty much get to know the customer, and from there, the client can either finance through 21st mortgage, or they can do credit union depending on the APR percentages. That sometimes they want a shorter APR percentage, so they will go with their credit union that offers them 5 to 6%. Normally, 21st mortgage is for 11 to 12%. If that's too high for them, you can go with credit union. So we'll provide all the VIN numbers for you. It's all in sync. So we work and operate with you guys. That's why we have all these homes that we're building. We have about 20 homes right now here in this factory, all for clients, and they went through the same steps. So obviously you will be guided through this process, and it's going to be very simple and easy to own a tiny home. So we make it very simple and easy for you to own a tiny home here in Pacifica Tiny Homes. So if you say, well, my county or my city doesn't allow tiny home on wheels on my property, but I want a tiny home on my property, what can I do? So what I usually tell them is that we offer ADUs. ADUs is a permanent structure that we place in your backyard. So that's a whole different type of configuration. So what we do is we already have our plans already submitted to the state of California, and they're already approved. So we're HCD approved. So once our homes are HCD approved, we just submit them to we'll be doing the ADU services for you. It is a different price range, but we cover a lot of the expenses. We do the craning, we do the property development, we do the concrete, the foundation, the utilities, water, sewer, and electrical. We help with the inspections. It's just a whole project that we take care of. We are the contractors, so we send teams out there and we make sure that everything is being operated the way. If any changes required from the city, then we would have to oblige to it as well. So there's just different little configurations that we must do that could change, but we do ADUs as well in your property. So if you're looking for ADUs, we have an ADU platform in pacificatinyhomes.com. You can see the ADU and all the services there. Everything's all there. We don't hide anything. You can read it all there, go through it. Any questions, obviously we can take care of it. I don't recommend, this is what I don't recommend. I do a lot of clients tell me this. Oh, well, just sell me the plans. Well, we can't sell you the plans due to the fact that you have to submit them. You're going to pretty much be doing everything, and if you just want us to do the construction, there's still things that they're going to require us to do changes. Every county is different, every city is different. So the plans are already approved in the state of California, but it's not approved from the cities or counties yet. They have to be approved, but they're going to see that it's pre-approved. It's kind of like a pre-approval if you kind of know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're the ones that construct this home. We're the ones that have these homes approved. So we have to be the responsible ones to be able to, in compliance, if you understand what I'm saying. So we have to be in compliance of the structural. It's going to avoid warranty, and it's going to be a headache for individuals. You know, they're going to, you work, let's just us take care of it. We'll be your ADU agents. So we'll take care of all that, all the stress or all the things that we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. Excavating, digging, property development. It will raise the property of the value of your home because it is something that is permanent. So just to keep in mind on that. But if you want to have something more permanent, we can take care of you. We'll do an ADU with the full ADU services in one package. So for the full price for our ADU, 30 by 10, with everything that I did mention, 3-year warranty construction, concrete foundation, everything that I did mention is all for $139,900. So the $139,900 for everything, and that's to put it on your property or raise the property value of your house, and it's going to be amazing. Honestly, we have done it multiple times already. Right now, there's a lot of clients that are purchasing these ADUs because if you go to a lot of other companies, they start at $250,000 for an ADU, which is like, we don't even charge that much, and they only charge you just for like the construction, put it there. They're going to want you to do all the other services that, like they're not going to offer you the crane over. You know, they're not going to offer you the labor. Just going to offer you the putting it there, and that's about it. But as far as we've seen, because we've done our due diligence when it comes to doing ADUs and properties, our price is just unbelievable. $139,900 for a permanent structure in your property to raise it up. It's like digging for treasure. You got it, boom, right there. So here in Pacifica Tiny Homes, in the next 5 to 10 years, we're thinking about doing tiny house communities. You know, here in the area of Corcoran, California. We've been doing a lot of that, you know, planning, but we also are going to do a warehouse. So the warehouse is going to be located here in this factory, but towards the back of the end of this land, and we're going to be having internships for high schoolers that want to learn a little bit more about the trade, because we're not just a tiny home company. We also do plumbing, apprentices, trade jobs, you know, that can help the young to be able to do and learn the ability to build stuff, learn to build cabinets, learn to do trailers, welding. So it's a pretty cool factor for this area, since this area is small. The Corcoran doesn't have as much opportunities as bigger cities, but it gives you the leverage to be able to learn the trade of construction and blue collar work, and that's something that we really want to focus on too, to help individuals, not just to house individuals, but help people learn how to do construction and do that blue collar work that we need here in the state of California. And it's something that we offer too as well. Internships, sponsorships. We do get involved with the cities, and we try to get involved with Corcoran, Visalia. A lot of individuals do invite us to a lot of locations because they know that we are the type of company that does that for individuals, not just for housing, but we're also focusing on the tiny house communities, and that's going to be coming up in the soon future. Okay. So that sums up our tour, guys. Hopefully you guys liked it. Try to give you a full walkthrough here in Pacifica Tiny Homes, that we don't just build our tiny homes. We do the frame, we do the trailer, we build pretty much everything, paint, everything you can think about when it comes to blue collar work. We take care of it, and that's also part of our package whenever we do our ADUs too as well. We take care of everything from delivery, from solar panels to everything that you can think about. Customization is also something that we also do. As you can see right behind me, we got a couple tiny homes that don't look alike, but they're similar at the end of the day, and that's the beauty of it. It's all these aspects that we try to do for individuals, and that's something that we always are going to dominate in a tiny home world. So if you guys want a tiny house customizing your own personal liking, or you want to go with something just standard, feel free to give us a call. My phone number is area code 650-656-1846. You can contact me there. I can give you a free estimate and also a free tour. You're more than welcome to come over here and schedule a tour with us here in Corcoran, California. But we also have other locations where you can actually see our tiny homes in Pacifica, California and Half Moon Bay. So there's 3 locations where you can actually see the tiny home. If it's more closer to you in the mile radius, then you can definitely schedule those self tours or a tour here in our factory. All right, guys, so I really do appreciate you guys being here for us. We will also be there for you.